All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the internship info session for the Sacramento State Athletics Broadcasting Internship. My name is Cameron Whitfield. I am the career specialist for Cosumnes River College. And uh, my role is to help students find jobs and internships, work on resumes, help coordinate these kind of events. Um, and there are folks in similar roles across the district in your career center or work experience office. Um, and these information sessions are a coordinated effort between all of the work experience teams across the district to host some amazing events to help you get those entry level experiences. Um, so
Thank you.
uh, before we get started, something to keep a note on is like, today's session is recorded. So, if don't feel like you have to like scramble and write everything down, I'm gonna send out the recording to everyone by the end of the day today or tomorrow. Um, there'll also be time for questions throughout. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. So I'm gonna uh, moderate for our host. And then finally, there towards the end of the presentation, there is a mini survey for to fill out about the session. We'd greatly appreciate if you took a few minutes to do that. It just helps ensure that we are designing these sessions for all of you. So that being said, I'm gonna kick it off to Nathan, who is also introduced himself as a CRC alum in the
Yes,
radio, TV, film program.
yes,
So
yes,
take it
yes.
away, my friend.
Yes, my name is Nathan Roach. I am a Los Rios Community College CRC alumni, and I'm excited to share with you guys this awesome opportunity at Sacramento State doing sports broadcasting. It's a really fun crew. I think, right, we spend a lot of time with each other. We really connect, and we just make really cool stuff. So whether you have an interest in sports, whether you have an interest in right using cameras, whether you have just an interest in like watching TV and figuring out how that works, we're someone that's going to accept you. We're going to teach you everything and help you if you develop a bigger interest and want to move forward in your career. Right, we'll help you with that. Um, and yeah, so like I said, we take we especially this year we take in people to little with no experience or right people with lots of experience. So if you've never even touched a camera, why we had two or three people this year never even touched a camera who are now right 2 or 3 months along in the internship, and they're getting it done. They're putting out high quality stuff. So I'm gonna move forward in my slides a little bit here. I'll explain this picture a little bit. This is out at softball. This is one of my interns, Chris, who's now graduated. He's working a camera, conducting a little post-game interview with our talent, right? That's our commentator and our head coach of the softball team, Lori Perez, right there. So that's just a little behind the scenes action. Um, First thing I have up in my slides is actually a video. So a lot of people it's hard to envision what goes on behind sports broadcasting, right? You might watch TV and you might wonder, how do they throw that all together, right? Things just kind of happen and they kind of happen naturally, it all seems like. So, what this video is it's a little introduction. So, for one of our women's basketball streams, it's what we call our open. So, like our first 2 minutes coming on live to air, you will hear our comms. So me as the director, my producer, and a little bit of our replay operator talking a little bit, as well as right the actual show itself. So I'm gonna play this video, and we're gonna watch along.
Uh, It's been no audio.
No audio.
We
Uh-oh.
have to
Yes.
reshare and click
Yes, you're
the
right.
button.
You are right. Thank you. Uh, I knew there was an extra step somewhere. Share sound. There it
Mm.
is. All right. Let's try that again. Asking for my password.
Yes.
There we go. All right. Let me know if you can hear this now.
Five, four,
Ready,
three,
green. Ready.
2, 1.
And roll green. Go music.
From the
35
heart of the
seconds.
Central Valley and the capital of California, ESPN and the Big Sky Conference welcomes you
Go
to
locator.
Hornet Pavilion in Sacramento, California for Big Sky Conference basketball action as the Northern Colorado Bears come to town to take on the Sacramento State Hornets. Hello, everyone. Will Schilling, along with the
Ready,
coach, AJ
four,
Riding
lead
courtside
locator.
as the starting lineups are being announced. The Hornets are back home for the first time in 3 weeks
And
after a 4-game
fade
road
four.
trip, the longest
Go ahead,
of the
standings.
season, AJ. And Sacramento State is in the thick of it in the
Hey,
Big Sky
look at that.
standings, currently tied for fifth.
Ready,
while
one,
the
just
Hornets at the
wide.
moment have
Just
the
a big
number
wide
5 seed.
shot. You got it.
Well, obviously the Hornets are glad to be back home, but both teams coming off losses, and Northern Colorado would really like to grab a win today to kind of keep climbing towards that top echelon of the Big Sky standings.
These two teams have already met earlier this year in Greeley as
And
the Bears
lose
came
locator.
out victorious 68-46
Or
back
whatever
on
that is. Ready,
January
one.
17th. And for the
And
Hornets,
fade
they're
one.
7-3
Go recap.
in their new home here at Hornet Pavilion this year. As you can see, the Hornets last time they played on last Saturday at Portland State to wrap up that 4-game road trip. They fell in a heartbreaker to Portland State 64-62.
All right, two. Find Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado on 2.
91% of the team's
Oh,
points
he hit the thing.
on that road trip. With the last 3 games of the road trip, Hornets did get a win at Montana. Just
Okay,
their second ever in
lose.
school history.
Recap.
Getting the win in Missoula.
Ready, 2.
Sacramento State
And
looking
fade
to get
2.
back on track
Go
here
Keys.
at home
Keys.
against Northern
Keys to the game.
Colorado. Taking a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Jeremiah
good
Johnson
opening.
Brewing Company, the official brewer of the Big Sky Conference.
Like that.
All right, so there's probably a lot going on there. A lot of communication wise that you might not be, you might not be familiar with, but that's okay. But that is just one part of our show, right? That's the very beginning of our show where we're looking at a lot of different things. Just to break that down a little bit, right? We have some replay going on in that very kind of opening shot, right? There was the drone shot of the tower bridge and some right band stuff, and then we went to some cameras, put up some graphics, right? Faded between cameras, coordinated graphics with our talent, right? Who was talking about them. And that's just one part of a 2 hour long show, right? So it's like that throughout the whole thing, if that makes sense. So, what exactly do we do? What do we encompass? So each year, right from fall to spring, so the whole academic year, we're covering upwards of 100 events that stream to ESPN Plus, and those include men's basketball, women's basketball, softball, baseball, men's and women's soccer, gymnastics, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, volleyball. Also at Sacramento State, we do have a interesting program called Combat U, where that's actually collegiate MMA and boxing. And sometimes we will stream those events as well. Those don't go out to ESPN Plus, but we still provide video for them, provide a stream, create a show. And then at football, we actually only worry about the video board show, which there's a lot that goes into that as well. So, and also, recently we've partnered with KMAX, which is local channel 31, if that's the one that Good Day Sacramento is on. We've also started streaming certain men's basketball games to that. And so that's been a whole new exciting thing where we've had to use different graphics. We've had to incorporate more sponsorship elements, do fun things like play of the game, right? Sponsored by whatever. Um, and so that's something we've been adding and something that we've been growing with. So the different positions within the internship, and uh, you get to try all of these, right? You get to, right, if you really like one, you could stick with it. If you want to try everything, right, you could go try something new every single day you're there. But yeah, so our positions, we have, of course, camera operators, replay operators, graphic operators, director, and the producer. Right? Those are the main positions that we focus on. But before I talk about those, let's talk a little bit about our setup. And this, I have a few little pictures of what our setup at basketball looks like. It might look like a whole mess of wires, which it kind of is. But what's interesting about this internship, apart from maybe other broadcasting internships, is that we get to actually teach a lot of what I would call engineering. Because we don't have like a permanent control room or a permanent control van, we actually have to set everything up and tear everything down at the end of the day. So that means in order to do that, you have to understand how everything works, which is a look that not a lot of people get if you were to say go work for the River Cats or go work for the A's, because those are permanent kind of setups that you only need to set up and tear down a few things. Whereas with us, right, we set everything up, we tear everything down. So you're understanding, right, the cabling, right, all the video cabling, which are called SDI, all the audio, which is XLR cabling, networking, so that's like Ethernet and internet type networking stuff. And on my notes here, I also have, right, you will learn how to coil cables, right? One of the most important skills, I think, is learning how to coil cables properly so as to not damage them. That's why I have this picture at the bottom. We got some coiled cables going on there. So that's something something I like to point out, and something that I've been told by people who've left the program and went on to do other things that's been really helpful to them, right? They feel like they can kind of do anything if they understand, right, the engineering side behind it. So now we have camera operation. We'll talk about that, which I call definitely the heart and soul of, right, of a show. Why would I say that? It's because if there's no cameras, then you don't see anything, right? There's no show. So camera operators obviously operate a camera, right? They hold in a camera, they know how it works, and they're responsible for documenting all the action of the game, right? You're bringing viewers into the action. That's the purpose of the camera. And what's awesome about being a camera operator is you usually have the best seats in the house. You're right there in the action. You can see from one of our MMA events, this is Colin, right? He's right over the cage. He's right there. He's seeing everything. You have, right, like I said, the best view. You're in the action, and it's honestly some of the most fun you can have at being at a sporting event, I think, is getting to be a camera operator. So depending on the sport, right, we'll have 2 to 4 different camera operators, and they all usually have their own what are called camera assignments. So, for example, right, camera 2 in basketball, which is, right, the higher up one, is focused on, right, an isolation shot. So like a close follow of the action going on. Whereas, right, the floor cameras, they have different responsibilities, right? They're looking at, right, they're keeping the shot clock in the shot to get this behind angle look, right? Crashing in for their hero shots, right? Which are like the celebratory shots, right? Who did the cool thing? That's your hero shot, right? And finding stuff like that. So, right, how do we make sure that we're following all the substitutions that go on in a basketball game? How do we follow if the coach just got ejected or something? Who just got a technical foul, right? So that's all things that camera operators kind of need to be aware of. and that's right, you following your camera assignments. Uh, Another thing I like to note about being a camera operator is that you get literally hours using a camera. And I feel like that's important because um, before I right started doing this internship, right, I might have said I was right proficient in using cameras, but I had nowhere near the 50 to 40 hours behind an actual camera using an actual camera to back that up. So right, you're getting actual right using the camera, getting absolutely comfortable with it, right? It becomes second nature. So that's camera operation. Next up is one of my favorite parts of the broadcast is replay. And you see this clip here, I'll keep repeating, right? We have a slam dunk from the Northern Colorado team, and then it replays into a similar angle. It slows down and it looks awesome. So what is replay? It's right, we have to see that again, right? We got to see that again. That was so cool. Let's show that again. On the left here, this picture, right, that's our replay controller, right? So you're using that system to clip different parts of the camera feeds, right? You're creating, right, when does this clip start? When does this end? When do I want to slow it down, right? And then you're playing it back live when the director says, right, roll your replay. For for people that are in the production, media production, video production kind of world, I like to think that a replay operator is kind of similar to a video editor, right? So if you are familiar with like Adobe Premiere or DaVinci Resolve, right? Those kind of things. You're being able to take in, right? What's the most important part of what just happened, right? What part should I show? Oh, there's this cool reaction shot that just happened on this other camera. How do I stitch those together, right, to make it one cool clip, right, that we could use, that we could show, that just adds, right, to the stream, makes it feel like the viewer's there, right? And that's one of the big things we talk about with sports broadcasting is, right, how do we make it feel like the viewer's there? And how do we also add on top of that? Video operators, right, or sorry, replay operators, they become comfortable with juggling a lot of different things at once, right? You're responsible for, right, not only having a replay, right, as an instant replay, right? We want to see that again right now. You're also responsible for creating like a highlight package, right? If this player, right, just scored 50 points in this game, right, we definitely want to, right, highlight at least a few of those and show off, right, how that comes together. And I also have that little note there that replay, like I said, is my favorite position. It's just really fun getting to use right the control system, right? Rewinding your clips, slowing them down. It's just fun, right? Getting able to see all the angles. I love it. So that's camera operators, that's replay operators. Next up, I have graphic operators. Now this is for right my detail-oriented folk, right? My people that love the little things. So right here in pictures, right, I have some of the graphics that were in the opening clip that we watched. We have, right, this is what's called a full screen graphic, right? We have our standings on, so right, full screen takes up the full screen. We have a locator right here that's right showing us what teams are playing against each other, right? Where in the world are we? Right, if we're on ESPN Plus, anyone in the world can watch us. And then right here in the middle, it's not the best picture, but it is what our graphics computer looks like and the interface that it's kind of on. So like I said, graphics operators are detail-oriented people, right? They need to create, design the graphics, right? Put in the important information, be able to kind of take in some information if someone gives you a note, if your director, your producer gives you a note saying, hey, this person, right, here are the stats that they had last game. What can you make out of it, right? So being able to distill what's important from those stats into just one concise graphic, that's a lot of what graphics operators do. That means a lot of stats, right? So if you're a baseball enjoyer or a softball enjoyer, There's a lot of different stats you can look at in those sports. And right, if you're interested in that, then you'll be interested in graphics. So I like to say it's for the Excel spreadsheet lovers as well, right? Those who love throwing things together like that. And as a graphic operator, you're going to become comfortable, right, creating things on the fly, as well as right paying close attention to what's going on in the game. Probably the graphics operator, aside from maybe the producer, is paying attention to what's happening on screen the most, because that's where they're getting their content from. That's where they're getting all their ideas from. So yeah, if you love details, if you love small things, you're a graphics operator. And then director producer, I have broken down on the same slide because they kind of go hand in hand. Unfortunately, I didn't get a very good picture of kind of our setup at the director, but this is the system that we use on this top picture here, right? That's a TriCaster, and that's kind of what the control surface looks like. It's a lot of fancy buttons that you get to press. But so what is the director doing? The director is creating the show, right? Putting together everything, right? Calling the shots, deciding what's live. On this bottom screen here, this is an example of kind of our multi-view. So a director might be looking at this and, right, you have different camera feeds at the bottom left, right? You have your replay feeds on the right, and you're deciding, okay, what needs to go up right now? So you're making those decisions. Directors are usually good at, right, decision making and, right, at leading. They have to be able to tell someone, like a camera operator, hey, I need to find this person. If you remember in the opening video that we watched, right, I was the director in that instance. I was telling, right, the cameras, hey, do this because we're going to you next, right? We're going to ready this picture so that we could take it at a different time, right? And then you're thinking about the next thing, right? You're always thinking about the next thing. What can you add to enhance the experience? And you're working together with everything. You get to, like I said, get to press a lot of fancy buttons on a big old controller. The director typically is more of an advanced level position. You might start with being what's called a technical director, where you actually don't call any of the shots. You just press the buttons, and there's a separate director that's telling you what buttons to press. And that's kind of how you get comfortable with, right, learning this big old piece of equipment. So that's the director. The producer is kind of the, like I said, the hand-in-hand side man of the director. The producer is the one in charge, right? They're the one laying out the plans. So yeah, I have in my note there, right? Producer lays out the plans, but the director executes them, right? The producer is researching before the game. What are the storylines? Did this person just have a career high last game? What can we do to show that, right? Do we have any archival footage of like a couple of games ago? Right, they're researching before the game and they're planning out, hey, what can we throw in and where can we put it in? They're also, right, coordinating with not only the crew, so like the replay operators, the graphics operators, the directors, they're also coordinating with the talent, right? Those are the people, right, doing the play-by-play call. So they're telling them, hey, we're going to talk about the standings next, or hey, can we get in, right, a hit of our, right, our sponsor hit? So that's what a director and that's what a producer does. So they're kind of hand in hand, but two very different tasks and two very important tasks at the same time. Like I said, director producer is our higher level kind of position. You kind of want to be able to know a little bit about every other position before you direct and produce. But we've had plenty of student directors, and plenty of student producers that have put on great shows for us. I think my next clip here is, so I showed what we currently do. I also wanted to show what does this all look like at the highest level, right? So we try to aim for, right, greatness, but sometimes we're limited, right? We don't have nearly as much experience. So I do like to show and give examples of what does sports broadcasting look at the highest level. And I have a clip from This is Clemson softball. So that's a team in the Southeast. They have tons of money to throw at their programs, and they have some really cool clips for us. It might look a little bit blurry. It's because there's a lot of different video feeds going on, but you'll get the gist of it.
3-1, that's hit deep to right, back at the wall, it is
Never mind.
gone!
Yes, go to those people,
Crazy
push those
good bat
people,
flip.
raise 6,
Where?
take
Red.
6,
No, I
Ray
got it in gold. Back
1,
up gold, stand. Back
take
up gold.
1,
All right.
Okay.
Ray 4,
Can I see the swing in
Take
gold?
4.
Where's it going over?
X.
X going over?
Yes. Fan react
yeah,
blue.
keep the fans back there, keep the fans
Okay,
back
here's
there.
what I want to go gold, X, gold. So Stanton, I'll have you spin ahead. Gold
Gold.
first.
Okay. Gold.
Replay.
And roll gold.
Watch the bat
Caroline,
flip.
5, get to your dugout.
Wait. Ready,
One more-
X.
ready.
Wait for the bat flip. And go X.
Effect X, roll X.
And then wait for gold. Ahead, Stanton. Keep coming. Right there.
We're going back to
Gold.
You ready?
Gold when you're ready.
Roll gold is off gold.
React red.
5 I'm coming to you. 5 I'm coming to you. Ray
That's
out to
right.
5. What? I need Irish on 5. Ray out to 5.
Go.
And out to
Everybody
5.
knows that this is an emotional game.
So that, right, that's even crazier than the first thing I showed you, right? There's a lot going on there, right? You see how many camera feeds that they have. They have 3 different replay operators, and they're putting it all together. If you understood none of that, by the time you spend some time with us, you'll be able to fully understand what's all going on right there, right? They're taking different cameras, right? They're directing the cameras, hey, stay with the fans, right? Push in towards the fans. Replay, right? We're getting the bat flip. We're getting the reaction after that, and then we're going back, right? So, like I said, this is the highest level of what things look like. And it's kind of what we aim for, right? We don't have nearly the budget that they do, but it's what we try to do, right? You can always try.
3-1.
I love to say. But that is actually all I have on my presentation. I would love to hear all your questions. Again, I want to reiterate: if you are intimidated, don't be, right? I've had people start literally, right, not even held a camera before, and now they're running things on local TV, right, local KMAX, all in a matter of 3-4 months even. So we're here to support you, right? If you're a little intimidated, that's good. But if you think it's exciting, right, that's even better. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys are thinking. I want to answer any questions if you got them. And don't forget that there is a handshake posting. So if you liked what you heard, if you like what you see, and if you want to reach out to me, there's either my email or, like I said, apply to the handshake posting is the best way that I know that you want to be part of what we're doing.
A couple of questions coming in. First one is, are there accommodations for vision impaired folks? As the first one, we have a few coming in after that.
Yeah, that's actually a really great question. Because we're mostly a visual medium, it is harder to make those accommodations. I will say we are kind of growing as a program, right? The program's pretty young. So we're kind of every year, right, we're adding on to things. So what I would probably think of, right, the next step would be, right, dedicated audio people. And that would probably be, right, a perfect spot for someone who's, right, a little more visually impaired. But I'd say right now we really don't have, right, the proper accommodations for someone like that.
Right, and the next question is, there's a lot of good questions today.
That's good.
Let's see. What do the hours and schedule look like?
Yep.
Or it does depend on the games?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it does, yes, depend on the games. Throughout the season, it kind of changes. February is actually our busiest month, where we have games, right? Right, we have one later today, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's a lot of different days that it can go on. But typically, I like to say that games are at night, right? Typically, games will start 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Meaning you would, right, we have a 2.5 hour call time, prior call time. So we get there 2.5 hours, right, to set up, go through everything. The game itself, typically 2 to 2.5 hours. And then teardown time, I like to say usually all of that ends up being about 6 hours each day. And it definitely depends. There's definitely weekends, right? Weekends we work. So Saturdays, Sundays, a lot of Thursdays. Um, those, but yeah, it all changes for sure. But one event usually 6 hours. So
Cool. The next one is how many people are you looking for the team?
So
Just
that's a good question. I'm looking, right, to add in a lot of new people, sort of to create, right, a buffer, and that kind of goes hand in hand with, right, the hours. Right, as students, I know a lot of you guys, right, are super busy, and that's kind of what we have with the crew right now, where, right, we're busy, so we have less people coming to some games. So I like to build up kind of a big, right, pool of people, and then select from them. Typically on a game day, we'll have about 9 people working an event. So that's right, cameras, replay graphics, all everything. Nine or 10 people is what I like to have on a game.
right. And then the next one I can start off from this one. You can pick it up. It's like, is this internship for Sac State students only? Absolutely not. Nathan, you reached out to the department chair of radio and film, like wanting to partner with, our program and bringing things back to, the students in the program it came from. So this is why we do these sessions, because they're open to all Los Rios students. Um, so I don't know if you want to add to that as being
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
reaching out.
we're reaching out, and we want you guys for sure.
Yeah. So absolutely apply. Let's see, there's similarity. A few more questions. Uh, does the producer do like the home run music horn and the walk up music, etc.? Like, does the producer do that, or who does that?
So, so for in-stream music, so music going out to the stream, typically there's, right, the producer has like a little tablet in front of them, right, to pick songs, and we do have the producer actually running that. But what you might be referring to is the actual in-venue songs, right? So like walk-up songs, for example, right? That's taken care of by the marketing team, which we work alongside to help put stuff up on the video board. I'll go back a little bit to when I was saying, right, I'm looking for this program to kind of grow. At some point, I would like to, right, have our crew, right, also be in charge of the video board show, meaning there would be 2 separate crews, right? There would be the video board crew and the right, the broadcast crew, because, right, there's a lot of overlap in what they do, but they do need to be separate. So as of right now, right, for the in-venue stuff like walk-up music, that's not us, that's marketing, but hopefully in the future, right?
Yeah. Oh, and also, can you stop the screen share so
Oh,
we just
yes, I
see you and not
can.
the black screen? Yeah,
Oh,
there
ha
we
ha
go.
ha
That'd be
ha.
easier. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Are there opportunities to get involved with commenting, the commenting part of the game?
That's a good question. So there are in the way of a sideline reporter, right? So if you're into journalism, you're into sports journalism, right? That's a way we can incorporate you as talent. Um, right now, the university finds the people commentating, right? It's one guy for most of our sports, but that one guy gets busy, and right, so that's something I would like to, again, right, approach and grow towards, is perhaps having students, right, at least be alongside our play-by-play operators, right? There's play-by-play and there's color commentator. So, right, there's 2 people. Right now, we really have only one for most things. So if we could add on that second, yeah, I would love to. And like I said, it's something we would have to add on as of right now, but I would like to explore doing that for sure.
Okay. Uh, Probably similar question is like,
Yeah.
is this internship primarily focused on camera operations, or is there opportunity to learn more about aspects of broadcasting, i.e., interviewing, or is that a separate opportunity, potential opportunity?
Yeah, I would say if you're just looking for more journalism stuff, like interviewing people, there's probably better opportunities.
Oh, wait, I think it just opened.
But right, it's not just camera operation, right? It's all those other things we talked about. Uh, Typically, our more journalistic people tend to gravitate towards things like producing because they get to research storylines and stuff and try to incorporate them into the game. So kind of the producing graphics side of things is where more journalistic people tend to gravitate towards.
And that's a good point too. I mean, if something that's not like directly like the related transferable skills that are
Yeah.
related to the field, they help you get exposure and build up in the direction. So I think that's a great point. Uh, and last two for it right now are there any GPA or grade requirements?
Only the GPA and grade requirements of your internship program. I don't know if you guys have any. Um, but yeah, nothing specific on our end. No.
Yeah, so that for you, so for the internships, like all of our internships in Los Rios, like highly encouraged to enroll in the work experience program where you can earn course credits while working in that internship that relates to your major. And there's some programs that have that requirement, like for the radio, and each campus is a little bit different in terms of what the classes. But for at CRC, we have the RTVF 498 where you can earn credits as well. So if you have questions about wanting to get credit for during the internship, then reach out to the work experience office. It's highly encouraged, not required, but encouraged. um, and the last one is in the internship, is there a way to propose a home run horn to the baseball team?
I like the way you think. I'm sure there is a way to do that. And that's something
The
maybe,
ideas, yeah.
yeah, maybe you could help us out with.
uh, Awesome. So if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But right now, as we're, have a little bit of time, like I mentioned at the top, I'm put in a very brief survey. So please take a few minutes to fill it out, and this really helps our work experience teams. So I'm gonna post that and leave it up for a little bit. But you can still put your questions in the chat.
Ooh, well, while we're doing that, something I kind of forgot to incorporate in my slides was the after the internship type of thing, right?
Yes.
Right, what opportunities have people gone on to do? We have a couple students who are now working for the San Francisco Giants in the Bay Area, right? They're doing graphics operation and I think replay for them. We've also had quite a number of students help out at Sac Republic, right? That's our local soccer team. And recently, I've been informed, right, we have a couple more students that are joining on with, right, the athletics, right, the A's and the River Cats, because they're in the same stadium, right? They have the same production crew. So yeah, so this is real experience that if you're comfortable with it, if you get comfortable with us, you're going to be comfortable in any similar environment. So yeah, it's awesome.
And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Because like when you're graduating, when you're exploring your programs, like having those internships are a valuable experience, not just learning the job itself, but they really look good on your resume. It's like, hey, you've already worked in like broadcasting for Sac State and got this fantastic experience. Like that definitely makes you a stronger candidate for different positions. But also in terms of like networking as well. Like if you want to learn different aspects of production, like even things not like 100% related, I'm sure you can you know do network and do some information interviewing with other departments as well, like once you're in the internship. So that's good to highlight.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, and here's a good one. How long does the internship last?
That is a good question. So right now we're in the middle of a semester, but right, our internship would last the whole semester. Right, so if you want to come on in the fall, right, that'd be August to December, right, for the first semester. Typically, people like to do it right through 2 semesters to kind of get a full view at all of the sports that we do. So I like to say, right, either a semester, and then if you're really interested, right, 2 full semesters. If you're even still interested after that, you're still a student, right? You keep coming back, right? We'll love to have you back. Like I said, we are like a family in how much time we spend together, and how comfortable we get with each other.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think their questions are slowing down. And just as a reminder, I'm gonna send everyone the recording of this probably in the day or first thing tomorrow. Um, say if the it's a 2 more questions. If it is a semester, if it is a semester, does that mean the internship big class that we have to rolling in? So if you want to earn course credit for the internship for the work experience program, the work experience class is offered um at least once to twice a semester. Like I said, some campuses have do the other term, like the shorter 10-week class in addition to the 16-week class, um, as well as the summer. So like contact your work experience. But generally, you can enroll in the work experience class multiple times. So you can earn course credits for doing it for the spring, then you can enroll again in the fall.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's just like
For the semester for I think the semester of when Sac State ends, which is a little bit different. You have to look that up. Probably end of May.
It's like a week, I think, different.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, uh, ah, how do you apply towards the inter? So to apply for the internship, I'll that link back in. You can search for the internship on Handshake. Just look at the Sacramento State athletics broadcasting, and I'm also going to add it to the email I send as well, so you can apply directly. And that being said, if you want to talk to someone about your resume or um, how to apply, meet with someone in the career center, or work experience office. Oh, I guess that's a good question too. Like once after they apply, is there like an interview process or what does the process look like after they apply?
Yeah, after you apply, there is a kind of informal interview process. I like to take in as many people as I can, but before doing that, I at least like to talk to you, right? Get to know you as a person, and then right from there, I can right if you're good to go, there's a Discord channel that we use primarily for like our communications. If you're not into Discord, it's simple. But I can also accommodate if you're not able to use Discord. But that's just kind of our main communication hub. And right from there, right, we can schedule, right, when's your first game going to be? If you have the time, can we schedule you like a day for you to just get comfortable with things? But yeah, so there's a kind of a pseudo interview, kind of informal type of interview after you apply.
Okay. A couple more process questions. So there's a few that came in. Apply towards the internship. Uh, so if you're going through transferring to Sac State, would you have to go through the work experience program at Sac State? I'm not sure that Sac State has like a work experience program like we do for like getting credit, but you can still apply for that. You can still do you can still do the internship regardless.
Yeah, I will say
So,
at Sac State there is an internship right office that we also work with. So if you're a Sac State student, you can get the same credit that you would be getting.
and in different universe, I think Ashton, you can message me uh about that. But if you're local, if you're like start similar to the Sac State one, I imagine, where it's like, you're starting, you're graduating from here now, but you're going to another local campus, then that's sure that's just fine. But I would message Nathan about that. Uh, where can I join the Discord from?
So the Discord, right, would be after I talk to you, after we kind of discuss, right, have that
Hmm.
interview, right, then I would give you the information for the Discord.
Sweet. Oh, oh, Stanish going to Stanislaus. I mean, might be kind of far, but you can swing it. But the conversation between the schedule between, you know, Nathan and his team and the application. So I would follow up with him about that. Uh, so thank you everyone for attending. A lot of great questions. Um, uh, one more question. Is there any transportation provided? Or probably
Ooh, yeah.
resources.
No transportation to campus. If it's not hasn't been clear, we only do right the home events. No traveling away events. But so as long as you can get to Sac State, you're good.
Good clarification. All right. Well, thank you, Nathan, for coming in,
Yeah.
talking today. Learned a lot about the wonderful opportunities. Um, and like I said, if you have questions about the actual internship itself, I'm gonna add Nathan's email to uh, in the follow-up, the recording, and the handshake posting. If you have any questions about how to prepare for those opportunities, contact their career or work experience office. Um, so thank you everyone for joining today, and hope you apply for that opportunity.
Yep. Thanks everyone for hearing me out, hearing what I have to say. I hope you found it interesting.